It's not the case.
I was dreaming all of a sudden that the people in this town caught on to a great extent, and we were all out in the street protesting. But I think the likelihood of that happening is like we'll probably see pigs fly before that.
I put this business plan together that, with the help of different hardware organizations and people, and I went to several different banks to check on some funding. And when I got an appraisal on the business and the buildings that we own, the appraiser actually came in and devalued the building. Here I figured it'd be appreciating after like 10 years, and he came in with a lower value, and I questioned myself, how can this be? This is, with inflation and the economy's not great, but it still should be at least holding its value. And he said, no, he said, anytime a Walmart's coming into a town, they knock the values down, because sooner or later there's going to be a bunch of empty buildings and none of them are going to be able to sell.
Any community on a grand opening is going to see a change, drop in sales. It happens regardless of whether it's Walmart or somebody else. You'll get a drop in sales. So there'll be a dramatic change of some type. How long it'll last? It can't last forever, because you just can't stand the overhead if you don't have the business. So something has to happen. And let's hope it doesn't come to that point. But you never know.
Well, right now, after we liquidate product, I'm in the process of trying to sell we own the building, so I'm trying to sell the building as well as get somebody in here that'll be able to lease too. I've got a couple people on the line right now that want to talk to me within the next couple days, and hopefully we'll work something out. We're going to sell the property, and I'll be able to pay all my bills and walk away without any debt, and that's if it all works out right. And I pray that it will.
I remember that like it was yesterday. To hell with it, Walmart by the damn town. We'll shut them down. And we used to drive through towns going 6 months, 3 months, 6 months of when we'd be closing them.
You drive up all the way up to New York City on Route 80. You can pull off at Clarion or any of those towns up there, and you'll see a Walmart up on the hill. You'll see a Perkins, maybe a Burger King. And then you'll drive farther into the town, and you'll see an empty town. It looks like a neutron bomb hit it.
Well, I rode that ribbon highway. I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw.
They don't get it. When we start talking about quality of life, they start talking about cheap underwear. I keep saying you can't buy small-town quality of life at a Walmart, but they don't sell it. But once they steal it from you, you can't get it back at any price.
I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was calling.
We thought it was the most fantastic thing in the world that Walmart was coming to Crown, Texas. I mean, it was like they had bestowed some great honor on the community, and we welcomed them literally with open arms. We could not say enough good about them, could not do enough for them to help them come.
When Walmart first made the decision to come here, you could come to town on a Saturday evening and not find a parking place anywhere. I came to downtown Hearn on Saturday before Christmas, and there was 12 cars in downtown Hearn. I counted them, 12 cars in downtown Hearn. That is pathetic.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood
Wal-Mart was a great thing for our community. It's really awakened the west side of our town.
I think Sam Walton would tell us, just as he did before he passed away, that the number one thing in this company is our associates. And we've got stores that aren't treating associates as well as they should be treated.
And, you know, it's a community college. I didn't have much for anything else. You know, I was doing really well. You know, I had a 4.0 average. But life happens. You know, my dad got sick, my mom got sick. And things happen, and it just didn't work out the way I thought it was going to.
Right.
When I started working there, I had so much pride in my job. I did. I didn't mind being there when they needed me. I didn't mind doing, I knew that we were short-staffed. At that time, I didn't know it was a purposeful thing, that that's their intention.
They had stacks like this of applications in the back. They just didn't hire them.
Right.
And then we're told, we don't know what to do. We don't have the people. We don't have this. We don't have that. And I really did at first. I was really, I felt bad for them. It was like, oh, okay, I'll give you an extra hour here. I'll come in early tomorrow. Okay, I won't take my day off.
Always having to stay late. You're supposed to work till 11, you're there till 12, 12:30.
Keep the number of associates from being full-time, as many as you can. Keep them at part-time as much as you can. And just keep reducing that expense.
The company doesn't allow the stores enough payroll dollars on their budget to get this job done, and the job is enormous. This company is raking in the dough in the sales. I mean, my store alone did over $100 million in sales the year that I left.
Having to get up with the kids, getting them out to school after 4 hours sleep.
They don't care about what you sacrifice. It doesn't matter how many people lose their families. It doesn't matter if the associates have good health care. It doesn't matter anything other than what the bottom line profit is for that store that month.
It just makes it really difficult to have a good family life at Wal-Mart.
You know, if you can squeeze every dime out of them, you go for it. And it doesn't matter what happens to their families. If they fall apart, they get sick, you know. To hell with them.
We're troubled by the fact that there are people who work full-time who, in fact, cannot provide enough for their families to live decently.
It was just impossible for me to pay my bills and pay for daycare and work. Nina, you should have plenty of time to go into the office. The money that I did get went right back into Walmart. I get my check, have it deposited, go shopping. When I first started Walmart, I had my kids on the Walmart insurance. It got to the point where it just was too much for me to handle. I just couldn't afford it. I'd have to pay my premiums at work, and then when I took them to the doctors, I still had to pay. I always had to pay a chunk of money.
I'm proud of the fact that we have the benefits that we have and that we have the wages we have.
People that's making $7 an hour that has to go to a doctor, they're not going to be able to meet that deductible.
And I have an 18-month-old baby, and he didn't have any kind of insurance. When he was sick, I would have to try and fix it myself, like get the medication myself. If he had to go to the doctor, I would have to take him and pay it as I could.
Sam Walton believed that it was inappropriate for an associate with illness in the family to have to worry about how were they going to survive the financial impact.
I was under my mom's insurance plan with a local grocery store that she works for, and any prescription it didn't matter what it was $5. And now through Walmart, for that one bottle of pills, I'm paying $70.
But I can't afford to put my children on the Walmart insurance because it's too expensive. There's no way I can afford to have $75 taken out of each check just for medical. That's why, because I'm such low income, I am able to get the Medicaid for the kids through Colorado State.
But they're $1 billion corporation, so I don't see why they cannot offer a better medical package for their associates so that we can afford to get our families on insurance.
You start weighing, okay, he's sick, we eat. Which one do we do? Well, let's give him an aspirin.
No matter what anybody says, they're at poverty level. I watch